The most ridiculous law in every state of U.S. Alabama, the city of Mobile may know how to throw down on Mardi Gras, but the use of plastic confetti is strictly prohibited. To carry, manufacture, sell, or handle any non-biodegradable, plastic-based confetti is unlawful. Alaska, a person cannot get drunk in a bar and remain on the premises. The statute says an intoxicated person may not knowingly enter or camp out where alcohol is sold. Arizona, no one can feed garbage to pigs without first obtaining a permit. You can swap out the trough for a wastebasket if the swine are raised for your own consumption. Arkansas, a pinball machine can't give away more than 25 free games to a player who keeps winning. The statute aims to prohibit machines that encourage gambling. California, a frog that dies during a frog jumping contest cannot be eaten and must be destroyed as soon as possible. Colorado, you have to get a permit to modify the weather. In some states, it's legal to perform activities that create changes in the composition or behavior of the atmosphere. Connecticut, junk collectors beware. In Hartford, it's illegal to collect rags, paper, glass, old metal, junk, cinders or other waste matter in the city without a license. Delaware, it's a misdemeanor to sell, barter, or offer the fur of a domestic dog or cat. Florida, people who own bars, restaurants, and other places where liquor is sold may be fined up to $1,000 if they participate in or permit any contest of dwarf tossing. Georgia, those engaged in llama-related activities, such as riding, training, or goofing around at a county fair, are responsible for any personal injuries they suffer. Hawaii, billboards have no place in paradise. They're outlawed in the state with few exceptions, including notices from public offices and signs posted where goods are sold. Idaho, cannibalism is strictly prohibited and punishable by up to 14 years in prison, except under life-threatening conditions as the only apparent means of survival. Illinois, urban legend says it's a crime in Illinois to possess more than $600 worth of salamanders. That's 75+ salamanders, according to fair market value. Indiana, liquor stores can sell refrigerated water or soda. The law specifies that a beer and wine store should be in the exclusive business of selling adult beverages and that any water or soda sold needs to be room temperature. Iowa, anyone trying to pass off margarine as real butter is guilty of a misdemeanor under food labeling laws in Iowa. Renovated butter must also be labeled as such. Kansas, there's no place like home to get tipsy. It's illegal to sell liquor by the glass in over 25 counties across Kansas, which repealed prohibition a full 15 years after Congress. Kentucky, every legislator, public officer, and lawyer must take an oath stating that they have not fought a duel with deadly weapons. Louisiana, jambalaya prepared in the traditional manner is not subject to state sanitary code. The Creole stir-fry, made with rice, meat, and veggies, may be prepared for public consumption in the open using iron pots and wood fires. Maine, a game of chance called Beano, like bingo, is regulated here. The law says that a person may assist players by playing their cards while they take a bathroom break. Maryland, fortune-telling is illegal in Maryland. Anyone pretending to forecast or foretell the future of another by cards, palm reading or any other scheme, practice or device can be found guilty of a misdemeanor and fined up to $500, or even serve time in jail. Massachusetts, whether you're at Gillette Stadium or Fenway Park, you'll never hear just half of the Star-Spangled Banner. Singing or playing only part of the national anthem or remixing it as dance music is punishable by a fine of not more than $100. Michigan, a statute on the books since 1931 makes adultery a felony, punishable by a maximum sentence of 4 years in prison and possibly a $5,000 fine. Minnesota, any contest in which participants try to capture a greased or oiled pig is illegal. The same laws also prohibits turkey scrambles. Mississippi, profanity in public could land a person in jail for up to 30 days. It's illegal for anyone to use vulgar or obscene language in the presence of 2 or more people.
Missouri, if a bull or ram over the age of 1 year runs rampant for more than 3 days, any person may castrate the animal without assuming liability for damage. Montana, driving animals onto a railroad track with intent to injure the train can result in a fine up to $50,000, a stay at the state prison not exceeding 5 years. Nebraska, no person who is afflicted with a sexually transmitted disease can marry. Nevada, using an X-ray machine to determine a person's shoe size could get you in trouble. New Hampshire, it's illegal to carry away or collect seaweed at night. Marine plants and algae are routinely used to make fertilizer and animal feed, which gives it value. New Jersey. A person wearing a bulletproof vest while carrying out a grave criminal act can be charged separately for suiting up. The practical effect is more jail and fines. New Mexico. For many years, idiots could not vote in most elections. The word was historically used to describe someone mentally disabled or with an IQ below 30. New York. The Empire State bans being masked or in any manner disguised in public with other people dressed in the same getup. The law has withstood legal challenges since 1845. It includes exceptions for parties. North Carolina. A bingo game being conducted or sponsored by a commercial organization may not last more than 5 hours. However, non-profit groups can go wild. North Dakota. All members of North Dakota's Dry Pea and Lentil Council must be citizens. The organization was created in 1997 to promote certain agricultural industries. Ohio. Every operator of an underground coal mine must provide adequate supply of toilet paper with each toilet. This law clearly makes sense, but the fact that it exists at all raises some questions about basic human decency. In Ohio. Oklahoma. McCarthyism is alive and well. A state statute still on the books says it is fact that there exists an international communist conspiracy committed to overthrowing the U.S. government. Oregon. Leaving a container of urine or fecal matter on the side of the road is a class of misdemeanor, and you can't throw it from the vehicle either. Pennsylvania. Human trafficking, in general, violates too many international laws to count. Pennsylvania felt the need to specify under the law that you can't barter a baby. Rhode Island. Someone who bites off another person's limb will face no more than 20 years in prison, but no less than 1, and only if they maimed the victim on purpose. South Carolina. A male over the age of 16 can't seduce a woman by falsely promising to marry her. But no law exists with the gender roles reversed. South Dakota. Liquor stores can't sell alcoholic candy containing more than 0.5% alcohol by weight. Tennessee. You can't hunt, trap, or harm an albino deer intentionally. If you do, the Fish and Wildlife Commission will charge you with a Class A misdemeanor. Texas. People wishing to run for office must acknowledge the Supreme Being. If not, they could be subjected to religious tests. In other words, no atheists allowed. Utah. No one may hurl a missile at a bus or bus terminal, except peace officers and security personnel. Anyone outside those positions is guilty of a third-degree felony. Vermont. The legislature created a law that prohibits outlawing solar collectors and clotheslines, listing both items as energy devices based on renewable resources. Virginia. An odd law still on the books suggests Virginia is for prudes, not lovers. Fornication, or sex, is completed banned, except for married couples. It's punishable as a misdemeanor. Washington. Doors to nearly all public buildings must open outwardly. Anyone who violates this will face a misdemeanor charge. The statute does explain why though. To avoid congestion during emergencies, like fires. West Virginia. Don't attempt to substitute a hunting dog for a ferret in West Virginia. Wisconsin. In America's Dairyland, many different kinds of state-certified cheeses, like Munster, Cheddar, Colby, and Monterey Jack, must be highly pleasing. Wyoming. It's reportedly illegal to cut, sever, detach, or mutilate more than one half of a sheep's ear. Violations are felony offenses, punishable by up to 5 years in prison.